Hi. So some of you already had a warning that this was going to happen, that there was somebody out there, me, who was so addicted to a certain show that I need to spill it somewhere, and that's why I made this video, and maybe there are still more to come, depends on how this video is received, but we'll see. For those of you who have no idea, I got a new hyper-focus. It's called Good Omens. It's literally the best show out there, despite it only being 6 episodes long, which is the reason why I cry at night. There are just 6 episodes. If the world needs more of anything, it's more of Good Omens. I wanted to put it out there. So yeah, that's basically what this channel is. It's just me fangirling for several minutes. If you're into that stuff, stick around. Why not? I mean, I discovered the series not even that long ago. It was like the beginning of December somewhere. I was stuck at home in quarantine along with the rest of the universe. And Good Omens was one of those shows that was in my to-watch list for quite a while. And somehow I never got around to actually watch it. But then I did. And it took about 3 episode. And I didn't as so much saunter vaguely or even fell into this. I plummeted, nosedived, face first, at great speed into a fandom. And I love it. I didn't even know where I began to understand what this fandom was really about. It just so happened that, hey, if you know Good Omens, you suddenly know where the abbreviation of AO3 stands for. Apparently that comes with the package. So yeah, why not make this episode about this wonderful thing that comes along with the fan package, which is fanfiction. So I've been reading quite some fics already. I wouldn't say I've read hundreds, but I think that if I say I read about 30 of them already, I should be within a ballpark figure. I stopped counting at some point. I don't know. There are some really good ones in between, but also some really fucking cursed ones. I mean, one of the first things you learn when you enter this fandom is forbidden words. Somehow the word cream cheese is cursed now. And not only the word, the food stuff itself is a no-go. And I learned that about like a week after I was introduced first to Good Omens, so that says something about the ridiculousness of this fandom. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the correlation between Good Omens and cream cheese, consider yourself blessed. Please don't Google it. Don't. Another thing that I quickly discovered when it comes to fanfiction, that I have somehow winded up in a community that continues to recommend porn to each other with no shame at all, and I love that. I was like, hey, anybody got good fic recommendations? And if it's smutty, the smuttier the better. Sure, why not? What I think really love about it is the assumption that this is a normal thing for us to share about. Just as the assumption that everybody ships Aziraphale and Crowley, because that's why we watch the show. To be honest, like the plot itself and the side characters never really, interest me. They're okay for what they are, but honestly they're kind of bland in comparison to the reason why we all watch this show. Ineffable husbands. That's also a thing. It took me like 3 seconds after googling Good Omens that I accepted the fact that yeah, they're a thing. They're not just friends. They're married. They're just married. And I think that's the bottom line why I love this fandom so much. Like, we all assume that what we have in our heads is just canon. Aziraphale and Crowley are in love. There's no other way to look at it. And if you think they're just friends, you're wrong. I also can't help myself to just put Good Omens references in every single thing that I comment on. Like, if people know the website 9gag, it's like, for people who don't know it, is only the biggest meme website in existence. I happen to slip in like Good Omens referenced comments here and there. And one of those posts was about when you first know that when you see 2 characters on screen when they were meant for each other from the first episode get-go, and it was like, yeah, I know a couple. So, of course, I posted them. There was one guy who dared to disagree with me. He says like, yeah, well, they're just friends in the show. It's like, nah, man, you can't be more wrong than that. I mean, even the writer Neil Gaiman and also Michael Sheen in particular are so adamant that this is a love story, and they're like, if you don't agree with it, come fight me. Oh, I fucking love that sentiment. I love everything about this fandom. Can you tell? Okay. That's also a thing, by the way. Michael Sheen, oh my god, I never even heard of him before I discovered Good Omens. I mean, shame on me, I know. Deeply embarrassed. David Tennant as well. I mean, I've kind of heard of his existence. I know he was a thing. Like, I used to be a huge Harry Potter fan, and I saw his name somewhere there as Barty Crouch Jr. I was like, okay, that's a guy playing a guy. But other than that, I had literally no idea who he was. But somehow, for the last 2 months, I've been a diehard David Tennant and Michael Sheen fan. I mean, I went from not even remotely knowing who they are to considering them the most delightful human beings on this planet within no time. Just everything about this fandom, the not only the series and not only the characters of Aziraphale and Crowley, but also the actors, David and Michael, and all the fanfics and all of you people who fan along with me. It's like a vortex pulling you in. And honestly, it's the main thing that made me keep my sanity over the past 2 months in this, yeah, crazy period we're living in. Did you also notice that this video has no straight topic? I'm just ranting. Okay. So yeah, this is practically the content that you can expect from me from now on. And if that's your thing, welcome to it. But yeah, I do have some more straightforward plans with this channel. One thing that I really would like to do is review fanfiction. I mean, I read some that are really so damn good that they deserve their own, yeah, fandom of its own, and I'm more than willing to provide in that. But coming back to the topics of fanfiction and everything that I discovered in it, it's a fucking minefield. I mean, sometimes you have fanfiction that is just so good and so soft and so beautiful and makes you happy and all fluttery and warm inside, and then there's fanfiction that is cursed. I mean, I know that cream cheese was already ruined for me, but yesterday I read one and was like, okay, mayonnaise is ruined now too. Thanks for that. I mean, I'm not a Christian, but you motherfuckers need Jesus. What's wrong with you people? But yeah, anywho, when it comes to topics to talk about, Good Omens wise, feel free to drop some comments on stuff you like to discuss or just have somebody see and rant about, because yeah, that's basically what this is. I mean, if I want to, I can like drop entire videos on why David Tennant is the sexiest man alive and why Michael Sheen is God. I mean, I can do that, sure. If that's your thing. You just ask, I'll deliver. So yeah, when it comes to introducing the whole concept of this series of videos that I'm intending to make, this, I think, summarizes it pretty good. Just fan ranting, because why the fuck not? Might get more coherent over time, but we'll see what happens, right? So earlier I talked about, yeah, maybe that I review some fanfics. One thing I really would like to do is maybe interview some writers on AO3. I mean, once I get to figure out how, because I'm still editing this on Windows Movie Maker. Yeah, welcome to the 21st century. I'm so totally not turning 30 this year. What's your point?
My point is dolphins.
Last but not least, I really want to give a shout out to all the amazing people on all the Facebook fan pages that I discovered within this fandom. To name a few, the Good Omens TV group, the Ineffables group, the Scribbling Vaguely Downwards group, Soho 51, the Ineffable Husbands fanfiction reader and writer on AO3, the Good Memes, the Good Omens Ineffable Posting, the Grow Better visual artist group, and of course the Ineffable Watch Party group that made my Christmas and my New Year way better. All of those Facebook fan groups, you guys are giving me life lately. Thank you for it. So yeah, here's to posting a lot more on those awesome Facebook corners, and also posting a lot more video content on this channel about Good Omens. And I swear the videos will become a lot more coherent over time. I just needed to get the first rambling out there, so you know what you're up to. Until then, I think there's only one thing left to say to the world.